सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Okay, we will listen to the bhajan and then we will start today's satsang. सत्य स्वरूपा साई भगवान, प्रेम स्वरूपा साई भगवान, सत्यम ज्ञानम अनंतम ब्रह्मा, ओंकार नादम साई नादम, Sai Smaranam Bhava Bhaya Haranam Sharanam Sharanam Moksha Pradhanam. O Sai, your very nature is Satyam, Sat. And as avatar incarnate, your very nature is Prema, love. You taught us that Om is the first ever manifestation of Brahman. Upanishads describe the nature of Brahman as Satyam, pure existence, Jnanam, pure consciousness, and Anantam, infinitude. O mind, engage in incessant smaranam of Sai Namam, and with that smaranam, surrender to Sai, the bestower of liberation, eternal freedom. The literal translation of the bhajan. What we are going to do, as we always do. What happened? Let us resequence the lines to glide along the sequence of unmanifest Brahman to the manifest Satyasai and see how, whether adoring the essence as unmanifest Brahman or manifest avatar, how both paths lead us to the one goal, salvation. So it stands resequenced like this. I see some 3 or 4 listening, maybe less. Anyways. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Omkara Nadam Sai Nadam Satyaswarupa Sai Bhagavan Premaswarupa Sai Bhagavan Sai Smaranam Bhavabhaya Haranam Sharanam Sharanam Moksha Pradhanam. Let us go glide along these resequenced lines. Taittiriya Upanishad gave to the world of mumukshus for the first ever time the Swarupa Lakshana of the Nirguna Nirakara Brahman and said in the Brahmananda Valli, first verse it said, Brahmavid apnoti param tadesha bhyukta Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman Sa Ashnute Sarvan Kaman Saha Brahmana Vipashchiteti. Om, the knower of Brahman attains the supreme. Of this, there is this saying, he who knows the Brahman as truth, Satyam, knowledge, Jnanam, infinite, Anantam, hidden in the cave of the heart and in the supreme space, enjoys all desires at once and becomes one with Brahman, the omniscient. Thus, Brahman is defined as Satyam Anantam in this verse. Maybe 3-4 times we have gone through this, but there has been a gap, considerable gap. So let's refresh ourselves for the purpose of contemplation. Starting with Anantam. Anantam having no limits in terms of desha, in terms of kala, in terms of vastu. Spatial, time, attribute or object. No limitation in either of these three. Being Anantam is not located in one place, unlike other things, like a pen. When a pen is kept on a table, it is not on the chair. And the chair is in the veranda and may not be in the kitchen. When they are in one place, they cannot be in the other place. Anantam means not limited by space, desha pariccheda. Being Anantam is not existing in any specific time. It is there in all times, all yugas. Kala pariccheda. It is also not limited by object in the sense a chair cannot be a laptop. A laptop cannot be a TV. A TV cannot be a fridge. But Anantam is not limited by any object. Satyam, the one that exists. Existence has three parts: name, form, existence. In this, names and forms are varied. There can be innumerable names, innumerable forms. Okay. But what is common to all this is the isness, the existence, the Sat. So this truth, Sat, not limited by names and forms, is aligned, is juxtaposed with Anantam. Because when one existence, this light does not qualify Anantam. And also in terms of Satyam, this has a name and the form. Okay? When something exists, but it is not limited by name or form, then it aligns and it also supports and it justifies the nature Anantam. Anantam, there is an existence which is infinite, which is not limited by names and forms. Right? Jnanam. Again, the knowledge has three parts: name, form, awareness, consciousness. Names and forms are unique to objects and are limited. But Brahman is what? Ananta. In this way, if the name and form of any knowledge or awareness of any name or form is taken out, then what remains? We said knowledge of this side table. Okay, the side table is a name. What you see is a form. The knowledge of the side table. the existence of the side table. From this, if you take the name side table and the form, what remains is knowledge, pure awareness. Again, this pure awareness in turn goes and justifies the earlier two also. Pure awareness, which is pure existence and which is infinite. So, in essence, you cannot separate these three as three separate lakshanas. They come together. Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Satyam is Brahman, Jnanam is Brahman, Anantam is Brahman. Swami sings now, Satyam Brahma, Jnanam Brahma, Anantam Brahma. Then, what is the last line? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. You cannot separate Satyam Brahma only. Okay? Jnanam Brahma only, Anantam Brahma only. Separate, they do not make the wholesome, the complete nature of Brahman. So, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Swami said. And that's what the three Upanishad gave. What if, as per the earlier line of Swami, only Satyam Brahma or only Jnanam Brahma or only Anantam Brahma, what happens? If it is only Satyam. So we are saying Brahman exists. Okay, Brahman exists. But there is no awareness, consciousness, and we can neither say it is Ananta. For saying that it is Ananta, we have to have the awareness. Then only we can say, yes, I am aware that it is Ananta. So awareness part is gone and the Anantam part is gone. Only Satyam. Without the awareness, what happens to the Satyam? It could be Jada, it could be insentient, pure existence like the Himalayas. Maybe even without name and form, but it may still be insentient because we are not aware. There is no awareness in that. So it is incomplete. It does not seem to be true as far as the nature of Brahman. It cannot be insentient. If Brahman was insentient, Jada Vastu, then this creation could not have come because it is He who will create this creation mystically. Okay, let us add Anantam also into it. Only Satyam and Anantam. If Brahman was pure existence and Brahma is infinite, but where is the awareness? Again, it is incomplete and it does not seem to be true as far as knowing the nature of Brahman or meditating on the nature of Brahman. You are saying Satyam is Satyam Brahma, Anantam Brahma, and you are leaving the awareness Brahma, Jnanam Brahma. You sit and meditate. Where is the awareness? How will you be aware? You cannot be what Brahman has not bestowed on you because you are in essence the same. As Atman, you are essentially the same Brahman. So the awareness part itself is not there in Brahman. Obviously, when Brahman created you, you will not have the awareness. Then, with what instrument, with what equipment, with what essence in you, you will know Brahman as Satyam and Ananta. it does not seem to be true. It does not seem to be complete. Right? So, in essence, Brahman is pure existence without name and form to affect. Once, why pure, pure, pure? We say, once the name and form comes, the purity of the existence is gone. Then it is Nijam, it is no more Satyam. Pure awareness, because once the purity is gone, then the awareness goes to the awareness of the table, laptop, fan, etc. objects, objective consciousness. It is not objectless consciousness. So pure. Anantam is Anantam. You don't say pure Anantam. Anantam itself is complete in itself as infinitive. Whereas awareness is the key essence. Key essence. And pure existence, Satyam and Anantam are complete only when awareness is there. I am pure existence, I am infinite, I am pure Ananda, Satchitananda, I am pure bliss. Everything is fine. But all this get completion only when I am aware. Till the time one experiences this himself, his self as awareness and exists as pure awareness, the other lakshanas are relevant and need to be contemplated. That self is pure existence, never born and therefore never dies, is the causeless cause for this creation. Self Brahman is Anantam, all pervading, everything is there. But all these things can be contemplated, meditated, and even experienced subjectively only when you are existing as pure awareness. And the beauty is that when you exist as pure awareness, aware, in the depth of your meditation, at the peak of your meditation, one Chaitanya is there, one pure awareness is there. Aware. In that, when you exist as that pure Chaitanya, pure aware, what we call as subjective experience. When you are aware, when you exist as pure awareness, then in that pure awareness, you are not aware separately that I am pure Satyam, or you are not aware that I am Ananda, you are not aware that I am Anantam. All those things get folded in one single Chaitanya, pure awareness, consciousness. When this pure awareness gets into the contemplation, the knowing about me as Satyam or Anantam or Ananda or this or that, then it becomes again an objective awareness. Whereas, what is Brahman? Objectless awareness, objectless consciousness, Shuddha Chaitanya. Pure awareness. Pure awareness. With no objects, not even awareness of awareness, just pure awareness. Omkaranadam. This has been described in so many bhajan sessions and so many satsangs, so we will not get into detail. This Om, here Brahman, Nirguna Nirakara Brahman. Just saying, because when I say Brahman, when I am limiting that Brahman into this place, no. Just visualization, Brahman, creation, the connection is Omkara. That is why it is Pranava Mantram. First ever Shabdam. Omkaranadam. Right? So this is the one which connects you as Jiva to that Brahman. The first ever thing to have manifested out of this unmanifest Nirguna Nirakara Brahman. So what it said? Om, Om, Om. The significance of Om is supremely and elaborately captured in Mandukya Upanishad. So, Brahman, Jiva, Jiva to Brahman, the only route is Om. You reach to Brahm, Om, and you start experiencing Om within, aligning with your 20,600 breathing. When the Om chanting is no more outward, when the Om experience is inward, you are approaching the eternal subjective experience of Brahman. Imagine here is the peak Himalayas, and the bus driver leaves you at a place, the car driver leaves you at a place, and says this is the only tough trekking path. There is no other path. Through this path you reach the peak. Through so many challenges, and through this Omkaranadam within, experiencing the Om within, you reach the peak. What is that peak? Brahma Anubhuti, experiencing Brahman. Sainadam. As creation emerged from time to time, the same Brahman, whose nature is Satyam Anantam, also descended as incarnation avatar from yuga to yuga. As Rama, Krishna, Sai. त्रेता युग में दशरथ नंदन, द्वापर युग में मुरली मोहन, कलियुग में साई नारायण, एक प्रभु अनेक नाम, परम दयालु साई नाम. So the Omkara Swarupa, Pranava Swarupa, or the Satyam Anantam Brahman, Omkara Swarupa, descended as Sai Avatar, Sai Nadam. So, when you have to go back via the Om route to the Satyam Anantam Brahman, then what you have to do? All the Japa Kirtana, we talked about Japa in detail in the latest post. Okay. The Japa Kirtana or the Hanuman Chalisa talk, sorry. The Japa Kirtana hailing the glory of Sai in form must evolve to go to the Omkaranadam backward, say, retrace the route from Sai Nadam to Omkaranadam to Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Satya Swarupa Sai Bhagavan, the need is there to go back, retrace to from Sai Swarupam to Sai Nadam to Omkara Nadam to Satyam Yanam Anantam. Why? Because no, this Sai Bhagavan, apparently in name and form, to be what? Essentially Satyam Yanam Anantam, Satya Swarupa Sai Bhagavan. Knowing this, you have to go from Sai Bhagavan in form to Sai Bhagavan, the Satya Swarupa. Satya Swarupa Sai Bhagavan. We started with this line, right? Guruvar, this seems to be very tough for me because all these are so convincing when you tell me, when you explain to me, but when I sit in meditation, this objectless awareness and the eternal pure existence without name and form, and the infinitude Anantam Deshakala Vastu Paricheda Brahman, all these things are not coming to me in my meditation because they are all seeming to be more abstract for me. What do I do? But I have to reach that Himalayan peak. The Guru say, no worry, child, there is another route with which I shall take you, or the path of bhakti will take you. Worship the same Satya Swarupa Sai Bhagavan as Prema Swarupa Sai Bhagavan. Easier path. The goal is the same. You will reach the same peak. I will tell you the secret of an easy path. Provided you are sincere, because there is a danger in this easy path of bhakti. If you are not into bhakti as Meera or Tukaram or Kabir or Tulsidas ji, your bhakti will be limited to a time, and then when you get out of this devotion, the Maya, the Jagat will pull you. This danger is there, be aware. If you promise me that you will engage in single pointed devotion, then this is the path for you. If you are not able to meditate as Brahman on Sai as Satya Swarupa, you take up the Sai as Prema Swarupa. Sai said, God is love, love is God. Love is my form, he said. Swami also said, the Lord is Prema Swarupa. The earthly parents will show love only as long as you obey them. Start going against their wishes, and they may go to the extent of even disowning you. But howsoever you go far away from me, in how many ever births you go away from me, the one who is speaking to you went away from Swami after a trip to Puttaparthi in 1981, where he met the state president of Delhi, Shamnandaji, in the veranda queue to enter the bhajan hall. Okay, that was when he met 81, but then again it was 87 or 87, I guess. But then in the college days for 3, 4, 5 years, not that he went away from Bhagavan, But that continuous trips to Puttaparthi was lost, and he was into this glittering world, college boy with all fancies. 82 to 86, he thinks now, what I missed in my life. Can I ever get back? 81, Swami, he gives a letter to Swami, Swami, take me in Vrindavan college. Oh, Swami, please, please, please. Swami takes the letter for his satisfaction, but Swami knew he is not going to be admitted. Swami used his own expression, said, wait, wait. In this life, that wait means the getting admitted to the college is gone. If he had gone into the college with determination, he can say he would not have come to this world ever, ever, ever. He might have emerged as a singer like many renowned singers there, or he might have gone into oblivion. He might have been a silent servant somewhere in hospital somewhere, but never, never, ever come to this world. Okay, so even when you go into the glittering world, 87, he pulls back, and from there, non-stop trips to Parthi starts. Non-stop. Continues. So here, the avatar, because why he is Prema Swarupa, you may leave him, he will never leave. I protect you, I hold you like the island protects the eyes, said our dear, sweet mother Sai. A small episode. Dr. David Grease is professor of computer science, Cornell University, USA. I don't know where he is now. This was written long back. He was the professor from 2003 to 2011. The professor writes, Swami has said many times that God is love and love is God. Love and God are synonymous. Swami's love is spiritual love. In characterizing spiritual love, Swami has said that love seeks nothing from anyone. It bears no ill will toward anyone. It is utterly selfless and pure. Only God's love qualifies in this utterly selfless and pure love. You take all other love in the world, only and only Swami's love qualifies. Lord's will is pure, selfless. Cutting short because we may we aspire to experience this totally selfless love, Professor writes, but we have difficulty in understanding and experiencing it. In fact, Swami has said that it is impossible to understand God. We should not even try. Instead, we should simply work at cultivating that expansive spiritual love. It takes efforts, Professor says. I find one of the best ways I find is to take Swami as an example and try to emulate him. Watch how he lives his life and try to follow his example. His whole life is an outpouring of total love, pure, selfless. Put simply, Swami is the fount of love, and this love expression expresses itself in so many ways. Prema Swarupa Sai Bhagavan. Cutting short, Professor writes, let me end with a remark about the game of tennis as a microcosm of the world. What is the score at the beginning of the tennis match for those who know the tennis match rules? Love all. And what does the referee say? Serve. Now serve. First serve. Love all. Serve. Okay. Now it is only serve, not serve all. Love all starting 0-0. Score, love all. And then now serve. So one of the players serves. One person wins the point. The winner of the point no longer has love. The score is now 15 love. Suppose the other person doesn't gets a 0, it's 15 love. Would not it be better to play the game this way? Professor says. The referee suppose says, love all, serve all. Both players serve and beat the other player, but to help the other player keep two balls in motion as long as possible. Love is a game played, no scoring, no competition, no looking down upon the other person, just love all and serve all, no game, no winning, no losing. Love is a game played without aiming to win or without being afraid to lose. But what we are doing, Professor says, we are just playing a simple tennis match, trying to beat others, trying to win, trying to go ahead, trying to rise to the top. Instead of that, let us concentrate on love. Because what we said, let us emulate Swami. God is love, love is God. So if we have to emulate God, we have to love all as Swami loves all. Sai Smaranam Bhava Bhaya Haranam Sharanam Sharanam Moksha Pradhanam. Once we reached out to this Prema Swarupa Sai Bhagavan, what is that we have to do? We have to do only one thing. Sharanam Sharanam. Sai Smaranam, Sai Sharanam. Incessant Smaranam of Sai Namam and absolute Sharanam, surrender to Sai. Nothing else. Surrender your thoughts, words, deeds, mind, intellect, inherent tendencies, speech, body, etc. Kayena vacha. Go back. Manasa, Indriyava, Buddhi Atmana va, Prakriti tendencies, Swabhava, Karomi yat yat sakalam parasmai. Shri Sai Narayana iti samarpaya. Austerities may be difficult. Ritualistic prayers, physical efforts, we may not be able to sustain. Janaka says in Ashtavakra Gita, in physical worship involving body may be tired after some time. Worship my mind. Thus leaving all the efforts through body, mind, intellect, there he said, I just exist as self. Here, in the context of this easy path to reach the peak, we say, having understood you, having known you as Prema Swarupa Sai Bhagavan, through body, mind, intellect, if I keep on trying you, my body or my mind or my speech may lose their energy at the end of the day. So let me transcend all my efforts through my body, mind, and speech, and intellect, everything. And what I do, I just surrender. Sharanam. Do I just surrender? Sharanam, Sharanam, Moksha Pradhanam. What will this result in this surrender? Where we reach, we go beyond the fear of bhavabhaya haranam, fear of vicious cycle of birth, death, rebirth, death, rebirth, death, rebirth. And he grants us the ultimate grace for fulfillment of our existence as human by granting us the absolute freedom, moksha pradhanam, eternal freedom. Our Maharaj from Anand Kutir says, approach the Lord with sarva bhava, with all your heart, mind and soul, with your whole being. Do not keep any reservation. Do not keep any secret gratification. The mind, chitta and intellect and the ego, manas, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, should all agree to surrender wholly. You will be supremely blessed. You will obtain His full grace. Prahalada I think there is a disturbance. Anything, we are coming to end. Prahalada, Meera and Sakubai were tortured in many ways, but the Lord gave them strength and peace. They did not feel tortured even a bit. Lord's grace is in proportion to the degree of your self-surrender. He gave them darshan and blessed them. Ramana completes the essence of surrender thus: surrender to Him and abide by His will. Whether He appears or vanishes, avoid His pleasure. If you ask Him to do as you please, it is not surrender, but you are commanding Him. You cannot have Him obey you and yet think that you have surrendered. Surrender has to be unconditional. To the extent the surrenderer does not even think that I am surrendering, that is total surrender. As long as you think you are surrendering, you are not surrendered. Because you are separate, Sai is separate, God is separate, and you are thinking you are surrendering. Surrender is not complete. Self-surrender is what? Total surrender is what? The surrenderer. Surrendering the surrenderer is the total surrender. He knows what is best and when and how to do it. Leave everything to Him. Such is surrender, and that is bhakti, said Ramana. So we started with the path of jnana, knowing Brahman as Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman, and we looked into the first ever manifestation to have manifested from that Nirguna Nirakara Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman as Omkara Nadam, cosmic vibration. And then we said that this Brahman, out of his compassion, Paritranaya Sadhuna Vinashaya Chat Dushkratam, for the protection of the good and the destruction of the bad. Okay, virtuous, protection of virtuous and the destruction of the wise. I incarnate from yuga to yuga. Omkaranadam also descends on earth as Sai Nadam. Sai Nadam is what? Sai Bhagavan, but then don't get confused, or don't get into the maya of his Sai Rupam and get fixed to his Rupam and limit him to that 5 feet 2 inches orange clad form. Know him to be Satyaswarupa. So from the Sai Namam, Sai Bhagavan to Satyaswarupa. So having known that, go through the path, single path of Omkaranadam to reach the Satyam Anantam Brahman. And my child Saumya, if you find it difficult, take up the path of knowing Swami as Prema Swarupa. Prema Swarupa. Prema Swarupa, emulate Swami, fill your life, fill your breathe, fill your existence with that Prema that Sai verily is, and exist as that Prema yourself. And in that love, what you have to, only one thing which you have to see this Prema culminating is as Atmanivedanam, total self-surrender. And when you surrender, you don't even think about Moksha Pradhanam, that is Swami's territory, that is Swami's portfolio. You surrender it totally. He is there waiting for you to reach to him, guarantees moksha. How each bhajan, even a namavali, can take us to the ultimate. If we focus and if we meditate. Side up. A session after a long time. Hope now the momentum will catch up. Most of you would have known by now, but most of you have not communicated with him. Never mind, no problem, that he is back to this soil of Muscat. Presently homeless, staying here and there. Once he gets a home in physical terms, then the satsang will be ongoing, continuous. Pranams to all of you who verily are the divine essence.